Good afternoon, everybody. It's Chad from Six Vlogs. So it's been a minute since I've made a video or done a post on my blog, but I've been meaning to do this one. Basically, you've been hearing me talk about hiking the John Muir Trail summer 2018 since December of 2016. Funny thing is this is almost the middle mark. Right now, at this point in time, it's almost the middle mark between the time I actually decided that I want to do it till the time that I'm hoping and planning to do it. Just so you know, I'm planning to do it in July of 2018. It's going to be myself and my son, my buddy Benny Braden and his son, and then my other buddy Craig Smith. It should be us 5 going out. We're planning on going the non-traditional northbound route. We're looking to start in Cottonwood Lakes Trailhead from Horseshoe Meadows, and basically hiking to Yosemite. We do plan on stopping up and hitting up Half Dome and Clouds Rest along the way, so we've got a lot of big plans. But anyway, so I've been having to save up all my time at work, my paid time off, so that I can have enough paid time off next summer to be able to take the time off to actually go and do the hike. Because of that, I haven't been able to get out on a whole lot of hikes this year. So because of that, I'm spending a lot of time just doing a bunch of research, trying to figure out what it is that I want to carry with me on that hike to try and make that hike the best hike that it can be. The most comfortable and the safest and the most enjoyable hike that it can be. So doing that, I've been watching a ton of videos from different people, looking at gear lists, asking questions, and I've been buying several new things. And that's what this video is going to be about. The items in this video, I just want to quickly kind of point out and talk just a little bit about, but I figure as it gets closer time to the actual hike, I'll spend a little more time talking about that item with the rest of the stuff, the system that it fits into. So first off, I want to start off and talk about my shirt here. This is the Patagonia Sun Stretch long sleeve shirt. Now there was a couple of things I knew about going into the JMT. First off, I'm going to be in a lot of sun out there, and I'm a white guy. So I burn pretty easy, so I knew I wanted something that was long sleeve. I also knew that I wanted something that was going to be able to dump heat pretty good, just because I'm going to be out in the sun for a lot of time, or I'm planning on it. I also knew that I wanted something that was woven as opposed to knit, just because woven materials do better at keeping bugs from biting. So I did some research. I looked at several different shirts, and the one I decided to go with is, like I said, the Patagonia Sun Stretch shirt. This is a size medium. As you can see, it fits me pretty dang good. The sleeves are just a little short. I would have been happier if it would have been about another inch added to the sleeve length, but it's not something that I'm going to really complain about. It fits me fine in the torso, and right now I'm actually at 190 pounds. My target weight is 175 pounds is what I want to be, so I'm going to have to lose a little bit more weight by another 15 pounds. But this shirt, it fits me great right now, and it's probably going to be a little looser, which means I might get a little more airflow once I lose the rest of my weight. So, so some of the cool features about this shirt is, first off, it's made out of nylon and polyester with about 3% lycra thrown into the mix. Because of that, it's a very comfortable shirt next to skin. This shirt feels really good. I enjoy wearing it. I've actually been wearing it around the house and stuff until I get it out and get it really dirty and nasty. But it's a nice looking shirt. I like the design on it. It's comfortable. My most favorite feature about this shirt is that it doesn't have the sewn in mesh on the back with those flaps. In my opinion, that's a bit of a gimmick, because when the backpack's laid against it, it pushes those flaps closed, and the shirt doesn't vent any better than this one does. However, the difference there also is I have that sewn area where the nylon is sewn to the shirt. Man, it wears me out. It's itchy, it's scratchy, it's just uncomfortable, and I didn't like it. So I knew I wanted the shirt without that. To make up for that, though, of course I can unbutton or button as much as I want on the front to help dump some heat. But I also have these 2 big front pockets that are mesh backed. So I can unzip these, and it'll help dump a little more heat as well. And I do like that the pockets are zippered and not Velcro. I'm not a big fan of Velcro for my pockets. I prefer the zipper. I think it just secures the pockets better if I actually have to use it as a pocket. But anyway, so I'm really looking forward to getting this shirt out. This is a medium. It comes in at 6.5 ounces, and I was lucky enough to get it for like 30% off Patagonia, because they just recently, maybe still, I'm not sure. But a few weeks ago they were having big sales, and selling a bunch of stuff. I actually picked up one for myself, and I also picked up one for my son. So we'll both be wearing these shirts next year on the JMT. And I'll be wearing it on any other hike that I do between now and then. Speaking of shirts, since I was there, they also had this. This is the Capilene Lightweight shirts, the long sleeve shirt. They had these for $19. So I picked up some of these. This is going to replace an old Capilene 2 long sleeve shirt that I've been wearing since 2009. The shirt's still in great condition for the most part. Down around the belly where my hip belt went, because I did use it to backpack in on occasion, it did start wearing some holes through. So it was kind of wearing out, but there's still plenty of life in it. But this was only $19, and this is 2 ounces lighter than the Capilene 2 shirt. This one is a size large, and it comes in at 3.7 ounces on my scale. Point of reference, I bought my son a size medium. His comes in at 3.5 ounces, and I also bought him the size medium pants to match because he needed those, and those come in at 3.4 ounces. So pretty lightweight. Our goal, our intentions with this is not necessarily to hike in, although we're not ruling it out, but mostly just once we get to camp, we can throw some clean clothes on, take our hiking clothes off. I plan on washing my underwear and my socks at night and then letting them dry out overnight. So I'll have some clean clothes to put on, get inside my quilt, and you know, just take it from there, sleeping clothes. Other than that, I also needed another pair of gloves for my son. But I figured, you know, this is a good opportunity for me to pick up a pair of Possum down gloves and let my son have my Outdoor Research PL 150 gloves. So that's what I did. Z-Packs has these, I think $22 or something. These are the size extra large, come in at 1.4 ounces. They are just a little tight getting on my hand, but once I get them on my hand, they're fine. Like I said, these are the extra large. They feel really good. This is my first dealing with the Possum down, so I'm excited because a lot of people really rave about how warm these stay even when they're wet. However, on the other hand, they also say that these are super fragile and they wear out. I don't think for what I'll be using them for, I'm worried about that. However, at the end of our hike, since we are going northbound, and I did mention we're going to be going up Half Dome, I'll probably use these while I'm going up the cables. So that might wear these out, but, you know, at least it'll be towards the end of the hike if it does. And if not, hey, they'll still be going. So looking forward to that. As far as what I'm going to wear also, there's one other thing I want to talk about. It's not exactly these. I can't get these up. I'm not that agile. But these are the Altra Lone Peak 3s. I actually picked up some of these. I picked up 2 pair. I have a size 12 I wear at work, and these are size 12.5 that I wear at home. And when I go out and do my runs and walk the trails and stuff here around town, I'll wear these too. 12 is my normal size. 12.5 is what I plan on wearing in these, just because you know, go a little bit bigger because your feet swell when you're hiking. Still trying to get used to these. I've had these now for about 3.5 weeks. I really do like them. Probably the best experience I have with them as far as hiking. A couple of days ago, I went out and I walked a 4.5 mile loop trail, and it was nothing technical, nothing hard. I think I had about 150 foot of elevation and 150 foot of descent overall. A lot of it was walking along gravel road. And then there was a wooded part that, of course, they did have some rocks and big piles of pine needles and stuff that washed up on the trail, so the terrain was just a little uneven and stuff. But on that hike, I think that was the best experience I got on that. That was about 4.5 miles, like I said. I did notice that I had a little bit of lateral and medial movement in my midfoot, sometimes stepping on something that was a little off. So I'm not sure if I can maybe tighten up the laces a little bit, or if that'll correct itself after just a couple of days of hiking, since my feet will swell. But I do have to say, what I really found very nice about these shoes is, of course, my toes can splay. So I have a wider toe box. They're not being crushed inside there. But even more than that is how responsive and reactive these shoes are. The cushioning under these things are so awesome. I mean, it's like when I'm walking, first off, it does provide a pretty good, it has the underfoot protection that I think I'm looking for in a pair of shoes that I want to, you know, hike 260 miles in, which for me will be the longest distance at one time that I've hiked. So I think the underfoot protection is exactly what I'm looking for. As long as I can make sure that the rest of the shoe is going to work for me, these are definitely going to be what I'll wear. However, I won't be wearing the 3s. My plan is to probably pick up the 3.5s, because at that point, hopefully the 3.5s will be getting ready to go on sale or on sale, because probably the 4s will be out by then. So I can pick those up for like something I did like these. I got these for 59 bucks a pair. So I'm really excited about that. But that way I can start off with a fresh pair and you know, be good. But the biggest thing too is I want to get used to the zero drop. I have noticed some Achilles tenderness or soreness. Nothing too extreme, but you know, like I said, I'm only 3.5 weeks in. So, you know, I saw I think Altra recommends up to 6 weeks before you really start getting used to them. So we'll just see. I'm going to continue wearing them, see how I like them. If they do work out as well as I think they're going to, like I said, I'll be going to the 3.5s for the JMT next year. Now, I will say the 3.5s are supposedly, folks say that they have a little bit smaller fit. So I'll just have to see how that is once time comes closer. Maybe I can go somewhere that has the 3.5s and I can try on both 12.5s and 13s if needed. I don't want to get too much bigger though, because I don't want there to be too much room in the front to where the front feels floppy. One other thing that I have done, I've never not been a fan, but I've never been a fan of the Injinji Toesocks. I have some smart wool socks my buddy Gizmo Joe gave me several years ago, and I wore those on some hikes. They're fine as far as wearing them. They don't bother me at all. I've never really gotten blisters between my toes, so it's not like I'm trying to correct that. But my biggest hang up with them though is typically what I'll do is I'll hike for a while and then I'll stop and take a big break. And sometimes I'll pull off my socks and shoes, let my feet air out. And putting these toe socks back on with wet feet, especially when the socks are wet, holy cow, it is a pain in the butt. So other than that though, I don't have any issues with them. However, I am going to start, I have been wearing them when I wear these to run in or to do my little walks in. And I am planning on carrying 2 pairs of these. I can swap out, you know, during the day or at night, whatever. But I think that these are probably better for me maybe now, simply because the toe box, like I say, on these Altras are wider. So this will give me a little extra girth inside my foot to help take up some of the room. I don't think it'll be too much. I don't think it's going to be excessive or anything like that, but it will be a little extra room in there. And also too, just in case my feet do start sliding and there was a possibility that I was going to get some blisters or something, maybe these will help prevent that. So who knows. Last but not least is, well, actually no. Real quick, I don't know if that's picking up, but this is the Suunto Ambit 3 Peak watch. Several weeks ago, my Suunto core, the little keeper band on it broke. That watch, I've used it for 5 years. The face, actually the bezel is completely not black anymore. It's beat up pretty bad. The glass is actually, it doesn't even have a scratch on it. The glass is held up great. But also one of the buttons has stopped working. Thankfully it's one that I don't use much. It was the back button. Or the lap button. I never use a lap button. But anyway, it stopped working, and then that keeper band broke. And I thought to myself, you know, I think I just want to look at a new watch. A couple of months ago, I read a review or a post over on Andrew Skirka's site about some GPS watches, and it seemed like he really favored the Suunto Ambit 3. For some of the same reasons I think I would have favored it. Particularly the fact that the battery life on this watch was better than the battery life on pretty much any other GPS watch that I found. At least, you know, in the same time frame. Maybe some of the ones that's recently come out or just come out, they might have equivalent battery life. However, at this point in time, those watches are going to be much more pricier than this watch. Now, when this watch came out, I think it was around $600, $650. I picked this one up on Amazon for $302. So I thought I got a pretty good deal on that. I am getting used to figuring out all the functions on it because this is my first GPS watch. But so far, I've been pretty excited about it. I've used it, like I said, to track my runs. I've used it to track my hikes and stuff. And I've actually posted that to my personal Facebook page. But it's really neat just kind of getting some of the feedback and the information that comes with using these watches. So I'm really excited about using it on the hike. My plan is hopefully I'm going to record the log from each day while we're actually hiking, and then come back and just have a series of little 60-second movies. It just kind of shows us walking through the terrain. Besides that, as far as I said, like I said, the battery life on this thing is listed at 30 days if you just use it in regular watch mode, time, you know, just reading the time, just wearing it every day. But if you use it to record an exercise on the lowest setting, GPS setting, where it records once every 10 seconds, the battery life is listed at 200 hours. For a medium setting, which I think is every 5 seconds, it's listed at 30 hours, and for best, which is every 1 second, it's listed at 20 hours. Now, I would only plan on using this for every 10 seconds. I don't see the need to be that precise with as far as tracking my location. It's not like I'm trying to use it for anything. I just want to get some basic information, some feedback from it. So saying that, I'm planning on 20 days on the trail. I'm figuring that at most I'll have to charge this watch twice. But I may charge it about a third time just to kind of top it off once it starts getting, you know, around 30 or 40%. Speaking of power, my plan to use power on the trail is, of course, I'm going to use a battery pack. But I'm not going to carry a huge battery pack like some folks have commented. The biggest reason I don't want to carry a huge battery pack is because those things take forever to charge. I don't plan on being at a power strip until about 10 days in from when we start. Because of that, in order for me to have enough juice to get from the beginning to 10 days in, I would need probably 3 to 3.5 of these. And this is a 10,000 milliamp. I plan on using my phone to do all my video and my pictures. Because of that, I plan on having to charge my phone at least once a day. Because of that, I'm only planning on getting about 4 charges out of this thing. That's a 10,000 milliamp. That's only going to get me less than halfway. So, like I said, of course I could go with a bigger one, and I could get to camp, and I could plan on charging it. But just so you know, with a 2.4 amp 5-volt wall plug, this takes me just over 4 hours to charge. If I was to go with a 26,000 milliamp battery charger, that's going to take me 13 to 14 hours to charge. I really do not want to be sitting at a power strip for that long. And I don't want to plug it up and leave it overnight and go camp somewhere and come back, because it may not be there. Something may happen to it. You never know. So, my thoughts is to carry a powered solar panel. This is the Suntactics S-Charger 5. A lot of people that hike the PCT, JMT, that use solar panels, they really seem to have a lot of good things to say about this. From what I've come across, more so than any of the other ones. There's a ton of solar panels out there, but like I said, this one seems to get more consistently good reviews. Now this panel is a little pricey. I paid $107 or $8 for it shipped. That was straight from Suntactics, and I used a Solar 10 code to get 10% off. But it is a lot pricier than some of the other ones out there. But what I get for paying that extra price is a panel that is consistent, that's reliable, it's very water resistant, it's very durable, and it's lightweight. This is only 7.4 ounces. A lot of the other chargers out there, or solar panels out there, weigh quite a bit more than this one does. So for me, the premium price was worth a premium product. But anyway, so my plan is while I'm hiking each day, I'll just put this on the top of my backpack, and I'll connect the charger cord to it, and I'll have this inside my backpack, and I'm going to use that stupid hydration port that's on my backpack, and I'll feed that cord to the inside and plug it up to my battery pack, and then it'll all be sitting inside, and it'll be trickle charging this all day. Now, one thing about solar panels is using an iPhone. iPhones can be kind of fidgety or finicky whenever you're using a solar panel, because they're wanting to cut in and out. These battery chargers are not like that. They'll just take whatever they get, and they'll just slowly charge just over time. So my plan is, like I said, hang this on the top of my pack during the day, charge this during the day, then at night use this to top off or recharge my phone. And I I would imagine, assuming it's not going to be just a rainy day the entire day or anything like that, but I'm going to say I'm probably easily going to keep this thing up to around 75% more just by doing that. Now, if it goes a little bit lower, I might go around 50% maybe. If it's, you know, if I experience a lot of cloud or something like that, or if I happen to be hiking through a forest, of course it'll slow down. But I really think that this is going to be the best option for me as far as keeping my electronics, which happens to be my watch and my phone, charged. The total weight for, if I decide to go with a 10,000 milliamp battery pack, it's going to come out to about 14 or 15 ounces, including the wire. If I decide to go with my 6,400 milliamp battery pack instead of the 10,000, it's only going to be about 12.8 or something like that, 13 at the most. So overall, that's, you know, not too bad. Like I said, a 26,000 milliamp battery pack that I've looked at, I'm wanting to say they're around 12.7 ounces or something like that. So the weight is basically a wash, but in my opinion, for that specific hike, this is going to be a better setup. So anyway, that's a lot of the new items that I've picked up lately, and I plan on carrying with me. Like I said, once it gets time closer, I'll probably talk about these items a little more. Until then, though, if you have any comments or questions, just post them on below. You know, I'll get back, try to reply to any comments, answer any questions. And everybody, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.